Welcome everyone, join us today as we pay tribute to Ronnie Van Zant, the charismatic frontman of Lynyrd Skynyrd, whose storytelling lyrics and magnetic stage presence catapulted the band to stardom. So let's dive in. Ronnie Van Zant, born Ronald Wayne Van Zant on January 15, 1948 in Jacksonville, Florida. He was zodiac sign Capricorn. Born at just over 5 pounds in Jacksonville's St. Vincent's Hospital, Ronnie was the son of Lacey Austin and Marion Virginia. He grew up on the tough west side of the city, where money was tight and street fights were a daily reality. Ronnie's father Lacey, a truck driver and former prizefighter, ensured his sons knew how to defend themselves. Inspired by Muhammad Ali, Ronnie once considered a boxing career and was also a talented baseball player with dreams of going pro. However, his true passion was music. Traveling with his father in the truck, Ronnie would immerse himself in the radio's songs. At home, he honed his skills on a piano and guitar, nurturing his love for music. Influenced by country legend Merle Haggard in his early years, he later drew inspiration from rock giants like the Rolling Stones and Free, shaping the sound that would one day define his own. One of Ronnie's lifelong passions was fishing. In his early years, he and his friends would head down to nearby Cedar Creek with simple poles and croaker sacks, enjoying the quiet moments by the water. Fishing later became a vital escape for Ronnie, providing much-needed relaxation from the pressures of fame. In early 1964, Ronnie heard that some students from Lakeshore Junior High were forming a band and needed a singer. Confident in his abilities, he attended the audition and declared himself the new frontman. The band, aware of Ronnie's strong personality, agreed, and he became the lead singer of the local group, the Squires, which he quickly renamed Us. That same year, Us competed in a local Battle of the Bands against the Mods and emerged victorious. However, Ronnie soon left the group. Later that summer, Ronnie met fellow teenagers Gary Rossington and Bob Burns, bonding over their shared love of baseball. After Burns was hit by a ball pitched by Ronnie, the trio decided to jam together one afternoon in the carport of Burns' parents' house. They played the Rolling Stones' "Time Is on My Side," and instantly knew they had something special. With the addition of bassist Larry Junstrom, the group invited guitarist Alan Collins to join shortly afterward, completing their lineup. Ronnie married Nadine Insko on January 2, 1967. During this period, he worked at his brother-in-law's business, Morris Auto Parts, where he was known for his remarkable memory and extensive knowledge of automotive parts. The couple had a daughter, Tammy, before divorcing in 1969. Tammy would later also pursue a career in music. Initially rehearsing in Bob Burns' carport, then relocating to Larry Junstrom's carport due to noise complaints. The neighbors would finally get some relief when the five relocated to an empty house on a sprawling farm outside of town. The band affectionately dubbed the tiny, sweltering, and rundown place Hell House. Despite its humble conditions, the remote location allowed them to play as loud and as long as they wanted without interruptions. Their dedication and countless hours of practice soon began to pay off when the group began landing gigs at local dances, with the pay usually being gas money and drinks. They went through several names, including My Backyard, Conquer the Worm, and the Noble Five, before settling on the 1% by 1967. However, by 1968, they sought a new name after audiences teased them about having 1% talent. Inspired by a suggestion from Burns, they adopted the name Lynyrd Skynyrd, a nod to a character in Alan Sherman's song, Hello Mudder Hello Fader, and a tongue-in-cheek tribute to Lynyrd Skynyrd, a strict PE teacher at Robert E. Lee High School known for enforcing the school's ban on long hair. Skynyrd's rules had even prompted Rossington to drop out of school, tired of being hassled for his longer hairstyle. After years of relentless practice, Lynyrd Skynyrd had risen to prominence as one of Jacksonville's top bands, headlining local concerts and opening for national acts. Like many aspiring rock stars, they hit the road, playing countless one-night gigs. This hustle led to management under Alan Walden and an opportunity to record a demo album with Jimmy Johnson in 1970. Although the demos didn't generate much interest from record labels, Capricorn Records extended an offer. However, Ronnie, determined for Skynyrd to succeed on its own terms and not live in the shadow of the Allman Brothers, turned down the deal. Undeterred, Skynyrd returned to the grind of the Southern bar circuit, performing nightly and refining their hard-hitting blues rock style. By the early 1970s, the band had developed a distinctively Southern sound, skillfully blending country, blues, and touches of British rock, which would soon set them apart in the world of rock music. Ronnie married Judy Seymour on November 18, 1972, in Waycross, Georgia. The two first met in 1969 when Gary Rossington introduced Ronnie to Judy during a 1% gig at the Comic Book Club in Jacksonville. By this time, several members of Lynyrd Skynyrd had settled down and started families, putting increasing pressure on the band to succeed or risk losing their dream to financial responsibilities. In 1973, Lynyrd Skynyrd's big break finally came. During a week-long performance at Funashios in Atlanta, the band caught the attention of Al Kooper, the legendary musician and producer from Blood, Sweat and Tears. Impressed by their talent, Cooper signed the band to his Sounds of the South label, distributed by MCA Records, and produced their debut album, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. Featuring iconic tracks like Gimme 3 Steps, Simple Man, and the fiery anthem, Free Bird, the album catapulted Skynyrd toward rock stardom. Over the next 4 years, Lynyrd Skynyrd toured the globe, releasing a string of successful albums. Second Helping in 1974, Nothin' Fancy in 1975, and Gimme Back My Bullets in 1976, each earning gold and platinum status. Iconic hits like Sweet Home Alabama, Saturday Night Special, Gimme Back My Bullets, What's Your Name, and That Smell would solidify their legendary status. Highlights included opening for The Who, electrifying Europe, the grueling Torture Tour of 1975, the addition of Steve Gaines, and the live album, One More from the Road. Their performance at the Nebworth Fair in 1976 further cemented their place in rock history. Despite the fame, Ronnie began to feel the strain by late 1976. Constant touring and partying had taken a toll on his health, and the birth of his daughter Melody in September led him to reevaluate his life. Though he considered leaving the band, Gary Rossington and Alan Collins persuaded him to stay, prompting Ronnie to insist on a healthier lifestyle for the group. Rejuvenated by a fresh approach and the talents of Steve Gaines as their third guitarist, Ronnie penned some of the finest songs of his career. By October 20, 1977, Lynyrd Skynyrd was at their peak. Their latest album, Street Survivors, had just been released to widespread acclaim, and their ambitious new tour was drawing sellout crowds. Then, tragedy struck at 6,000 feet above a Mississippi swamp, abruptly ending it all. Ronnie often spoke about his own mortality, as noted by family members and former bandmates. He frequently expressed a belief that he would not live past the age of 30 and that his life would end while on the road. This conviction was a recurring theme in conversations with those close to him, sometimes to the point of annoyance. In the months leading up to his death, Ronnie began referring to himself as the Mississippi Kid, a nickname that seemed strange given that he was born and raised in Florida. Eerily, his connection to Mississippi would turn out to be the place where his life ultimately came to an end. Tragically, on October 20, 1977, a plane carrying the band, who had just done a performance at Greenville Memorial Auditorium in Greenville, South Carolina, and was heading to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, ran out of fuel near Gillsburg in Mississippi. The passengers were made aware of potential issues with the Convair CV-240 and were instructed to prepare for a crash. Ronnie died instantly from head injuries sustained when the plane crashed into a tree in the middle of a swamp. Bandmates Steve Gaines and Cassie Gaines, assistant road manager Dean Kilpatrick, pilot Walter McCreary, and co-pilot William Gray also lost their lives. Several other band members suffered serious injuries. Ronnie was 29 years old. Former Lynyrd Skynyrd guitarist Ed King recalled the deep sorrow that marked Ronnie's funeral, with mourners so overcome with emotion that they were collapsing. As Merle Haggard's "I Take a Lot of Pride in What I Am" played, Ronnie was laid to rest wearing his signature Texas Hatter's black hat and his beloved fishing pole. The simple, private service, attended by 150 close friends and family, took place under cloudy skies in Orange Park, Florida. After a recording of David Allan Coe's Another Pretty Country Song, Charlie Daniels performed Amazing Grace. Minister David Evans delivered a message of hope, reminding mourners that Ronnie was not gone but lived on in spirit and in song. Ronnie was initially buried in Orange Park, but due to vandalism, his remains were relocated. In 2022, his widow announced that Ronnie's body had been moved to a new plot and a new memorial site was under construction. His younger brother Johnny later took over as the lead singer when the band reunited after a hiatus in 1987. And there you have it. Though his time on Earth was tragically short, Ronnie Van Zant's impact on rock music remains as powerful as ever. His legacy lives on through the timeless music of Lynyrd Skynyrd and the countless fans who continue to celebrate his life. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.